DSA with DAX. Okay, so today we're gonna solve question number 1672, richest customer wealth. Okay, so first I'll explain question, what is question and what is our approach, and then we move to the our code part. So let me start from basic. Basically, this question is based on 2D array. Okay. For now, like we'll learn 1D array. Basically, you have to go to move one to one index. If you can see, understand it basically like you take one for loop, you iterate from one to last index, you got every value. This have a very called 1D array. Like it's basically like this. One constant. Okay, this kind of array is called 1D array. Now 2D array is basically an array contains sub-arrays. Okay, like here I'll add example. So this is the array which contains two sub-arrays. With these two contains two arrays means like two indexes. Okay, so this outer array is a one array, okay, and this property is array zero property. Array can store inside another array, okay. So this array has just two indexes, zero index, one index. But on zero index there are one more array. So for writing we use like this. Uh, Normal you can see array I. For writing, we move to the arrays of ith index. But for this case, if array I, we move to the ith index. Now, but we have to check like whether we have to go to one or two. Like inside arrays relative position, we have to decide. So for this condition, we also have to use one more uh, loop to decide whether we have to move to which path. So I'll use J. Okay, we are on first array ith position and in those arrays jth position. Okay, jth index and ith index. Okay, I hope you got basic clear. What is 2D array? Okay, 2D array is basically array contain one more array. Like that, 3D arrays also exist. Okay, you have to just prepare of 2D and 3D array, which basically use many times, and be carefully and try to like solve this type of question 2D and 3D array by yourself, so you can got clear more under logics of how you can use, or like you can solve 1D array questions. You like you can think its logic by oneself, but for 2D 3D array you have to make practice to gain like 1D array skill, because this is little bit complex concept. Okay, now we move to the line by line of question. You are and given an m into an integer grid. Okay, we have to they given us m into an integer grid of accounts. Okay, we have to check up accounts where accounts of I and j. Basically, I'll say we have to take two indexes. So here are given I and j indexes. Is the amount of money of ith customer has in the jth account. So basically, outer array is the customer names. Okay, like customer, and jth index is basically customers account in bank. Okay, if like myself, okay, myself the total, so I have accounts in three banks, so all three banks in one array. Okay, the array is called the tux array, and the three accounts is called like my bank accounts. All are contains different wealth, like a total of this called my wealth. Okay, so we have to take this wealth, and then we have to decide comparing which customer is richest customer. Okay, a customer wealth is the amount of the money they have in all their bank accounts. As I said, we have to sum up their all bank accounts, and then we have to find who is the richest customer. Okay, now this is the basic question explanation done. Now we'll move to the our example. So here are given example one. So example one is basically everything input of accounts, like in one X person has in one account 1 rupees, in two and account 2 rupees, and third account 3 rupees. Okay, and like that. So here are two accounts given, and output is 6. because we don't have to like tell who one is rich. We just have to tell maximum wealth of customer. Okay, if you find that 10,000 is maximum, just you have to return 10,000. Okay, not like who's which index and which percentage. You just have to return max wealth. Okay, so here you can see its explanation. Okay, we already tell you what is question transition. We don't move to the explanation. Okay, and now we directly move to your condition part. M is equal to, like M is equal to accounts dot length. Okay, M is basically length of accounts. Okay, not length of customers. N is equal to accounts of I dot length. Okay, if you don't have to use like declaring accounts dot length or accounts I dot length, you directly use M and the variables. Okay, M is greater than or equal to 1, N is less than or equal to 50. Here is twist. You have to notice N is always less than or equal to 50. Like you don't have given more than 50 customers. Okay, and I is greater than and equal to accounts dot I or accounts dot I and accounts dot J and is less than 100. Okay, accounts of I and accounts of J is less than 100 or equal to. So I hope you got clear what is question trying to say. We move to the code part, then you can clear more about what is question. Let first take a variable called max. Okay, this is max well. Starting value is 0. Okay, then we have to take one for loop. Let I equal to 0. Starting from 0th index, I less than, okay, account dot length. Okay, we have to go to the accounts dot length, then I plus plus. Here and we also want one more variable called current wealth for checking each and every account's wealth. Okay, so for that we take current wealth. Current wealth is equal to 0. Starting we are assuming everything from 0. Again, for iterating accounts. Okay, not customer. For iterating accounts, we want one more for loop. Okay, so uh, for this nested for loop, we have to take another variable. So I'll take j starting from 0. Now we don't have to move to the nth or greater than nth index. We just have to move to the length of our accounts. Okay, accounts dot length. So accounts dot accounts of I. Okay, because we want accounts of I's length, not whole accounts length. The accounts of I dot length. Now it's basically what to go to the accounts of I array and dot length function find the length of the ith array of accounts. I know this is little weird, but the 2D and 3D array concept is like this, so you have to try to catch up with. So then current plus, okay, for iterating and we have to sum that array. So accounts, okay, accounts of I and j. Basically we are doing that accounts of I of j, like sorry, customers of I accounts j, value of that balance we adding it in our current wealth and then move to the next index. Okay, then we have to take one if condition. If our current wealth is greater than our max wealth. I think I might making one spelling mistake. Okay, I got to get WLC. Okay, everything looks correct for now. After we will check the running test cases, and if we got error, we'll try to solve it. Okay, so if our current wealth is greater than max wealth, then max wealth is equal to current wealth. Okay, simple logic, not a rocket science. Okay, then return max. Okay, so we will run this test cases. Okay, we're making some mistakes. Okay, here are spelling mistake. Now it's look correct. Then, okay, here we have to use G plus plus, but we use I plus plus. Okay, so these cases are accepted. Okay, we submit this question for further lead code test cases. So you can clearly see that our answer is accepted. Mm, So now I have to do some clear things. Here you can say m is equal to accounts dot length. Okay, m equal to accounts dot length. Where anyone be using accounts dot length? Yeah, we using accounts dot length here. Okay, so we replace with m. Okay, accounts dot length is equal to m is given, so we replace it with m. And accounts of I dot length is given to m, so we replace this with m. Okay, now we run. Okay, let me check some problem in here. I think it might be a runtime error or syntax error. Let we run this again and check this. Accounts of ILE report. Now it's look perfect. Okay, so you got clear how we can use these conditions, and you have to like now try to improve yourself to read this condition by yourself. Okay, so you get like confidence to solve questions without watching any explanation or core logic. Okay, so now we try to optimize this code because you see this code is very much weak and you have shown many errors. Like whenever you try to this solve question, you find like this question has too much errors and chance of not submitted. But like we move to the simple one-liner solution. So maximum wealth equal to, okay, we're taking maximum wealth accounts arrow function. Okay, you know what is arrow function and how you use max dot max. So the math dot max, you know why we use math dot max. Math dot max finds maximum and return it. Okay, from whom we want math dot max. So we're using spread operator for entirely accounts. Okay, but you know we have to use here inside one array we have to sum that array. So we have to use map. Map for what? We want that every inner element should be counted. So again we have to take one arrow function for reduce. We want to reduce. Okay, reduce what reduce. So reduce of what? So we have to reduce like a comma b, like its element inside our accounts array. Okay, and arrow function to add the both of this. Okay, so like it's I might speak, but I think we have missed something. Let me check. I think we missed something here. Okay, let me try to listen. Okay, let me run this. Okay, the test cases are accepted. So as usual, you know, math.max. Okay, of what? Then our accounts array, and for inside we have customers. So use customer equal to customer dot reduce for finding each and every customer's sum of their every accounts value. So we will reduce from A to B. Okay, B means like n up to the n, and A plus B, and if zero, so zero. Okay, so I hope you got clear what we learned in today's question. And if you find any doubts, just ask me in comments. I'll reply if your question is worth it. Okay, and if you don't watch it previous video, the link in I button, check out now and learn DSA from scratch. Okay, so we move to the tomorrow question part. Okay, so tomorrow we're gonna solve question number 1732. It's basically question of and the highest altitude. Like find the highest altitude. So here are given there are bikers going on a road trip. The road trip consists of n plus 1 points at a different altitude. The biker starts his trip on 0 with altitude equals 0. You are given an integer at a gain of length n, where gain I is the net gain in altitude. Okay, basically you have to just move to the from like what is trying to say in this question. You have to find the highest altitude of a point. Okay, basically here is return the highest altitude of point. You just have to return highest altitude of point. So here gain, okay, in this okay, minus 5 versus 5, and okay, the altitude are the highest is 1. So you read this explanation and description and try to solve this question. And if you find this series helpful, just like and subscribe to channel. Thanks for watching this video.